Welcome to the 1970 Hot Wheels Tune-Up Tower. Today we're going to see if I can get the motor and toggle switches to work in two old tune-up towers. The first thing we have to do is get the roof off. It's easy on the first tower because it doesn't have a roof. The second tower does have a roof, but it comes right off. The reason it's simple is there's one plastic clip on the left and the other one is snapped off. So what do you do if you have a roof that's not broken? I use a sturdy, flat piece of plastic, stick it under the back side of the roof, then twist to apply pressure up the middle, and it comes right off with the plastic clips intact. Now to put some D-size batteries in and see what happens. On the first tower, the down button for the elevator works, and the on button for the treadmill runs. But there's a problem with the treadmill toggle. The motor runs, but the gearing for the treadmill doesn't engage. The swing arm for the toggle switch isn't moving. It's supposed to go like this. Now the gearing activates. There must be a break between the toggle switch and the swing arm. To take a look, I'm going to lift off the top floor. My first question: can the housing on top of the motor be removed? There are two connections in the front. And there's two more in the back. I'm going to drill these out, and I'll have to go through the floor in the back. Alright, I've finished drilling. Here in the front, and it took me 2 tries to get it in the back. The result? The housing is solidly in place from gluing. Those were just guideposts that I drilled out. So time for plan B. I'm going to use a Dremel tool and open up the roof right here and take a look. Now, with the roof exposed, you can see the swing arm connection to the toggle switch. I was expecting a break right here, but I don't see one, so I'll have to open up more roof for a better view. Okay. Here's a look at the entire toggle switch mechanism, and for sure, nothing is broken. When I took the little return spring off that sat right here, something changed. Now the toggle switch moves the swing arm freely. I have no idea how a factory installed spring got too tight, but there you go. Now checking the elevator down switch, it's good. The up switch, nothing. The battery terminals are made of copper, and years of exposure to the air has produced a buildup of tarnish, and this can block electrical flow. There are 2 contacts inside the housing, one short and one long. To get these out for cleaning, I'll use a flat slot head screwdriver. to lift up the end and unlock it. Here through the roof, and here on the end of the housing. The next step is a simple chemical cleaning that uses salt and vinegar in one container, and water plus baking soda in another vial. The first container is an acid solution. Vinegar is acetic acid. Add salt to the vinegar and stir it in. The salt and vinegar give us a nice combination of acidity and corrosiveness to eat away the tarnish. While we wait, the other container gets water. And a small spoonful of baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate is alkaline. So after just a minute or so, we can pull the copper out of the acid solution. And you can see how it's cleaned a fair bit of the tarnish off. It then goes in the alkaline solution to neutralize the acid's corrosive action. I'll put the other end in the acid and add the small copper piece as well. For the battery contacts that are riveted into the housing, I'll clean them off with a Q-tip dipped in the acid, and then use the alkaline solution to neutralize the reaction. Once done, the copper contacts slide back into place and snap into position. Let's see what happens now. Elevator down switch works. Up switch works too. The treadmill gears run and the treadmill itself is moving. That's a bit of success. Now on to the second tune-up tower. The batteries are in, here we go. Down switch for the elevator, nothing. Treadmill switch, nothing. Up switch for the elevator, nothing. This tune-up tower is effectively dead. Now in my experience, the electric motors Mattel used in the early years are almost bulletproof. They were made in Japan, and even all these decades later they usually run. This particular example is from a two-way supercharger and works perfectly. Trouble is, someone in the factory torqued the hold-down screw too tight and broke the housing for the motor. The usual culprit for a dead motor is tarnished battery contacts. Just like the first tune-up tower. We've got the same problem here, only worse. My secret weapon in getting at the battery terminals is this cut-off metal coat hanger. I took a hammer to the end and flattened it into a small spatula shape. So now I can use it to lift up the long battery contact and pull it out. Yep, lots of tarnish. And my tool works great to sneak under the roof and unlock the short contact. Once again, I'm going to chemically clean the copper in an acid solution. And after a minute, check out the tarnish that's been removed. This time I'm going to do something more. You can see the tarnish on the left and the chemical cleaning on the right. Now I'm going to bring in some sandpaper, 600 grit, very fine. Watch what happens when I go to work on the chemically clean part. Here the full luster of the copper is restored with a light honey color. Again, here are two tarnished contacts. The top one is tarnished on the left, chemically clean on the right. Tarnished on the left, sandpapered on the right. Chemically cleaned on the left, sandpapered on the right. Fully cleaned on the top, and now both fully cleaned and ready to conduct electricity. Now I'll slide the battery contacts back into place. The riveted terminals have been cleaned and foam backing added to improve contact. The result? Down switch for the elevator works, up switch works, and the treadmill switch works. However, the treadmill itself doesn't run. I'll start working on that in the next video. So there you have it, the 1970 Hot Wheels tune-up tower with working motor and switches. It makes Hot Wheels still fast, still fun.